Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Seth Rollins has long been one of WWE's top stars. The Visionary debuted as part of The Shield, and they were a major act. He later was the handpicked star of The Authority, which even led to Rollins becoming a world champion. Nowadays, he is part of another faction. In fact, this time, Seth leads it. He is joined by Paul Heyman, who serves as his wiseman. Additionally, the dominant and aggressive Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed have also joined the ranks. With that being said, the four-man group could grow past this number. The group could expand to 5, with 4 proper wrestlers. This, of course, is dependent on whether the incredible Ricky Saints were to join the faction. Saints is a star on NXT who has wrestled for many years, including in All Elite Wrestling. Not only that, but he is Cody Rhodes' real-life friend. A heel turn to join Rollins' stable would be shocking, but it is also necessary. This article will examine multiple reasons why Seth should include Saints in his crew. Cody Rhodes and Ricky Saints are real-life friends. The two were friends when they were in All Elite Wrestling together, and even remained friends once. Cody left the Jacksonville-based promotion to join WWE again in 2022. In fact, there is even a well-known incident where Ricky Saints, while still working for AEW, was seen on security footage walking with Cody at a WWE event. In fact, he was even in the crowd cheering his friend on at WrestleMania 40 when Cody dethroned Roman Reigns. All of this is to say, Ricky Saints turning heel and aligning with Seth Rollins would really hurt Cody for a close friend like that, who has stuck by him through thick and thin, to abandon the American Nightmare for the Visionary. It would be a far bigger blow than any punch or kick. If Cody and Seth inevitably clash, this could give Rollins a mental edge. Being close friends with a talent means a mental edge, but it can also mean other things too. It typically means these performers train together, and Seth Rollins could absolutely take advantage of that. There is a reason the WWE star calls himself the Visionary. He also was once known as the Architect after the fall of the Shield. This is because Seth is a master planner and manipulator. Having Ricky Saints by his side could lead to the demise of one of his biggest rivals. If Ricky can tell Seth, and of course Paul Heyman, all of the tricks to Cody's training, his personal struggles, his strengths and weaknesses, and beyond, it could be a game changer. An inside man really would change everything if they clash again. Of course, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins happening again feels likely, but so does Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. The two have been at each other's throats non-stop since Punk returned to WWE in 2023, and they may never stop hating one another. This is important in regard to Ricky Saints, because the charismatic performer and CM Punk are also friends. The two had mutual respect and admiration for one another, while both were WWE stars in All Elite Wrestling together. Just as Saints would hurt Cody emotionally and also reveal secrets that Seth might not be aware of. The same could apply to CM Punk. If Seth recruits Ricky, there is no doubt that he and his faction could use all of Ricky's knowledge of Punk and their relationship against him. The final reason why Seth Rollins needs to recruit Ricky Saints to his WWE faction comes down to one simple truth. There is power in numbers. For an example of this, look at the Bloodline. Roman Reigns' Bloodline stable was never stronger than when it featured Reigns, Paul Heyman, the USOs, Sami Zayn, and Solo Sikoa. 5 wrestlers and a manager made for a nearly unstoppable combination. 4. Now, the stable has 3 male stars and a manager. While these 3 names are all dominant, they still don't have the same numerical advantage that the original Bloodline has, or even the Judgment Day has had at its peak. By adding Saints to the lineup, the group expands, and that could be a significant factor in keeping the group viable in the long term. Seth Rollins has long been one of WWE's most compelling and enigmatic characters. With a career that has seen numerous reinventions, from the Architect to the Visionary, Rollins has mastered the art of transforming with the times. In recent months, however, a new narrative possibility has started to gain momentum. What if Rollins recruits Cody Rhodes' real-life friend, and not only recruits him, but turns him heel in the process? It's a move that could inject fresh energy into the WWE landscape, ignite a personal feud for the ages, and allow Rollins to exert his influence as a mastermind in a way that harkens back to his days as the leader of the Shield or the Messiah. In professional wrestling, personal connections can often be the most volatile ingredients, and using that personal bond between Cody Rhodes and his friend as storyline fuel could elevate multiple superstars at once while keeping fans emotionally invested. The friend in question has a legitimate connection with Cody outside the ring and possesses the charisma and talent necessary to make a massive impact. Whether it's someone like Ricky Starks, who has a documented friendship with Cody from their days on the independent circuit and AEW, or another established figure in Cody's inner circle, the story practically writes itself. Here's why. This angle could be one of the most important creative decisions WWE makes this year. First, this could immediately inject personal drama into WWE television on a level that resonates deeply with fans who are invested not just in in-ring competition, but in the behind-the-scenes reality of wrestling, friendships, and alliances. Cody Rhodes' journey back to WWE has been characterized by honor, integrity, and a quest to finish the story. Having a real-life friend of his turn against him under the guidance of Seth Rollins would present an emotional betrayal that stings in a way few heel turns do. WWE has always thrived when it blurred the lines between fiction and reality, and this scenario would capitalize on that dynamic to perfection. Rollins knows how to play the antagonist who gets under people's skin not just by attacking them physically, but by manipulating those closest to them. Recruiting Cody's friend would be a mind game that throws the American Nightmare off his center and adds depth to Rollins' character as a master manipulator. It would recall the cerebral tactics of past villains like Triple H or Edge, who used psychology to torment their rivals. The emotional weight behind the betrayal would fuel weeks or even months of storytelling that keeps audiences hooked week after week. Second, this would be an ideal way to elevate a rising star and place them in a top-tier feud instantly. While WWE has no shortage of talented superstars, not all of them are positioned in a way that maximizes their potential. If Rollins were to recruit someone like Ricky Starks, or even another real-life ally of Cody's from his AEW or indie wrestling days, it would catapult that individual into the WWE spotlight in a way that few storylines can. Aligning with Rollins gives any superstar immediate credibility. It offers screen time, mic time, and high-stakes storytelling. It creates opportunities for pay-per-view matches, multi-man tag team bouts, and dramatic backstage segments. If WWE wants to bring in new or returning talent and give them a storyline that matters right away, this would be the perfect method. Even if the recruit is already on the roster but hasn't been used to their full potential, this twist would unlock a new dimension to their character. Heel turns, when done right, are rocket fuel for careers. Just ask Seth Rollins himself, whose betrayal of the Shield launched him into the main event scene. A similar trajectory could await Cody's friend and Rollins' new protege, Third. This narrative could serve as the next chapter in the Rollins vs. Rhodes rivalry, which remains one of WWE's most talked-about feuds. Their trilogy of matches in 2022, culminating in the unforgettable Hell in a Cell bout where Cody wrestled with a torn pec, was one of the best WWE rivalries in years. Though Cody won the battle, the war between these two has always felt unfinished. Rollins has made peace with Cody on screen in recent months, showing mutual respect, but that only makes the idea of a shocking swerve even more impactful. If Rollins uses Cody's real-life bond to orchestrate an emotional betrayal, it reopens old wounds and gives the rivalry fresh legs. It also allows Rollins to, once again, question Cody's judgment. Did he trust the wrong people? Did he let his heart blind him to the realities of competition and manipulation? This storyline gives both men a reason to care deeply about the outcome beyond just titles and wins. It becomes about pride, loyalty, and emotional redemption. WWE thrives when its rivalries have layered motivations, and this angle would deliver that in spades. It's not just about two men trying to outwhistle each other. It becomes about betrayal, redemption, and the cost of ambition. Fourth, this storyline could redefine the future direction of the main event scene in WWE, particularly heading into major events like SummerSlam, Survivor Series, or even WrestleMania. WWE has been actively building new main eventers and seeking out fresh creative directions. Post-Roman Reigns era, with Cody Rhodes poised to be one of the company's faces for the next decade, and Seth Rollins always looming as either ally or enemy, this storyline allows WWE to introduce a new third pillar, Cody's turned friend, who could ultimately become a major player in his own right. The drama that unfolds could lead to a triple threat match, a tag team war, or even a scenario where the friend tries to surpass both Cody and Seth by using the exposure and drama of the feud to carve his own path. In doing so, WWE plants seeds for the future and crafts a narrative that moves multiple characters forward at once. Wrestling is best when it's about more than just two people fighting over a belt. It thrives when relationships, legacies, and personal choices shape the battlefield. That's exactly what this angle would offer. Rollins manipulating Cody's friend sets off a chain reaction of consequences that reverberate across RAW SmackDown and future pay-per-view main events. It has the potential to be one of those long-term angles that fans talk about for years and reference as a pivotal moment in multiple careers. Additionally, the fans themselves would play a huge role in this angle's success. WWE crowds have grown increasingly smart to the reality behind the curtain. They know who's friends, with whom they follow social media, they listen to podcasts, and they're hungry for stories that feel grounded in authenticity. Turning someone like Ricky Starks against Cody Rhodes under Rollins' influence would light up the fan base. Social media would explode, wrestling podcasts would debate the ethics and logic of it, and fan reactions in arenas would swing wildly from cheers to gasps to boos. The emotional investment would be real because the foundation of the storyline is real. Cody has always worn his heart on his sleeve, and that vulnerability makes him both beloved and narratively valuable. Rollins, meanwhile, is never afraid to be hated and thrives on playing the role of puppet master. The chemistry between these characters could elevate weekly programming and lead to viral moments that transcend WWE's traditional audience. It taps into everything that makes wrestling work: athleticism, drama, betrayal, loyalty, and the blurred line between real and fake. Moreover, this storyline could include the return of factions and power alliances, which are once again becoming popular. In WWE, with groups like Judgment Day, The Bloodline, and Damage Control commanding airtime and headlines, the idea of Rollins forming his own manipulative faction again is extremely appealing. This time, however, it's not about control through numbers, it's about control through psychology. A new faction led by Rollins, with Cody's former friend as the centerpiece, would be unique. It would blend emotional storytelling with classic heel tactics. It would let Rollins become a spiritual successor to masterminds like Paul Heyman or Triple H, but in his own chaotic, visionary way. The promos would be electric, the in-ring chemistry high, and the story arcs long and flexible. It also gives the new heel time to evolve and shed his past image under Cody to become a darker version of himself, someone who believes that aligning with Rollins isn't betrayal, it's evolution. That kind of character development is gold for WWE's creative department. This narrative arc could also have massive implications for the Royal Rumble or Money in the Bank. Imagine a scenario where the new heel eliminates Cody from a Rumble match at the last second, costing him a title opportunity. Or perhaps the new heel wins Money in the Bank under Rollins' guidance and then teases cashing in on both Cody and Rollins depending on where the titles land. It adds intrigue, unpredictability, and stakes to events that already carry a lot of weight. WWE needs these multi-layered storylines to maintain the momentum it has built in the post-Vince McMahon era. Fans want to see calculated storytelling that rewards their emotional investment, and this is a storyline that would do just that. It's not just a feud, it's a ripple that affects an entire roster, an entire set of possibilities heading into WWE's biggest shows. In conclusion, recruiting Cody Rhodes, real-life friend, and turning him heel under Seth Rollins. Direction is more than just a good idea, it's a storytelling masterstroke waiting to happen. It gives Cody a new emotional obstacle to overcome. It gives Rollins the kind of creative fuel that he thrives on. It elevates a potentially underutilized superstar, and it creates a ripple effect that can stretch across pay-per-views, factions, title pictures, and personal arcs. WWE has all the pieces in place. All it takes is the decision to pull the trigger and let the sparks fly. The fans are ready. The story is ripe. And if WWE commits to the vision, this could be the next great rivalry that defines an era. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.